It arrives today. Update 31.6, Echoes of the Zariman, June 9th, which is right now as we speak, will be coming a little later in the day, probably 2 p.m. or even earlier, like 11 to 12 p.m. And the reason why I say that is because most of these updates have been arriving a little earlier than normal time that they actually release these updates. So it might be earlier or it might be at 2 p.m. ET, but mainly that's where the time will lie on, is 2 p.m. ET. So just keep that in mind. It might arrive a little bit earlier, so hop on 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. ET. Anyways, moving on. The things that are becoming in this update are large amounts of stuff that they have talked about that they want to put in here. Changes and fixes and more items. So starting off with the Xmas changes will now be getting a overguard, less overguard, just buff. It's a debuff technically, because they're gonna bring down more of the overshield, because it's just like, you got to keep in mind the still path is also where people are gonna go to now sometimes here and there, especially that's where we gotta get steel essence. That's where you should definitely lower the overguard. But yeah, overguard is gonna get a little bit touch there, and then they're gonna apply more of the more health and shield than just the overguard, because that just makes it kind of worse for steel path, and it just really just kind of makes me mad. Most definitely this will help out my PC account, because I can't really kill these guys. All right, but yeah, that'll be end up having less overguard shield, making them easier to kill. So that's just most important. And I know there's other enemies out there that are very, very hard as well. So like the Noxus, like complete annoying. Moving on with the operator changes. All right, Void Sling is getting changed, and Void Sling will now have an increased movement speed, and you can it says backslings. You can go back. Okay. It says ongoing transformance responsiveness. So I'm guessing you can have a better. You can go back and forth, in and out with your Warframe with a better responsive of having to keep doing that, instead of it lacking, having this weird duration on it where you can't even go back in your Warframe as quick as it used to be. So I'm guessing that's where it's going to be changed at. You get an additional arcane slot for your amps as well, which obviously when we scroll down here, yeah, this is where we get into the Cavallero, because Cavallero will now have new arcanes, and he will have 2 new incarnon weapons. And these incarnon weapons are the Felarax. I think it's Felarax or Felarax, but whatever. All right, it's a shotgun. And it looks pretty nice. I'm glad a shotgun is coming in, because I actually wanted to see that happen. I want to see this shotgun in real action. All right, so I would definitely want to see how it does. End of them is the dagger. All right, the melee weapon, incarnate weapon, and it actually looks nice. They didn't show the incarnate form for the shotgun, but they did for the dagger. Makes very much sense there, Digistream. You have all the amps down here that they will be adding into the offerings for Cavallero, but yeah, we won't really go over too much of that. But I know some of them do look really nice, but we'll move on. We have the 2 new ephemeras that are arriving as well in Cavallero's offerings. All right, we have the Wrapped Wing ephemera, if you did not see it in Devstream 162. All right, and then the Seraphire, something like that, Seraphire or something like that, ephemera. They both look really nice. One is kind of like the big hands, the Wrapped Wing, one of the big hands. And one is just like the smoky effect for the Echoes of the Zariman that you see all the time, where you'll see these incarnate hands trapped. They're like stuck in in places where you see them all the time, and you see that smoky effect, all right, that cool effect of the Zariman, and that will basically what be the Seraphier or some ephemera like that, so it'll have that cool effect to it. Okay, Loke Surge. Never really cared too much about this, but it says we're adding a new dynamic gameplay element for Zariman missions. Loke Surges, they are intended to be an overall benefit to your mission, but come with a bit of risk should you choose to engage with them. 3 Loke Surges spawn throughout the tile set for players to find, each with their own buff to activate. Cool, I guess. Upon finding it, the icon will reveal the buff it offers whenever you trigger it. Spawns. Okay, so basically that's kind of basically what I think not the Armageddon, but there's one of the missions that are in there basically kind of like that. I can't remember what it's called, but it's called the Void something. Anyways, it's kind of like that. But yeah, I guess that's a new type of thing that they're basically doing. I think there's like an add-on to a mission, right? Yeah, there's got to be like an add-on to a mission. We'll move on from that. Then they actually add in a bounty portal. A bounty portal will you basically fast travel to any like parts of the map, I'm guessing. All right. And you'll be able to fast travel to any. Oh, it might be like the fast travel to one of the spots where you can actually start a mission. I don't know. It might be something like that, but we'll definitely check that out when the update comes in soon. And then, well, that's pretty much just it for this, because there's just gonna be augment revisit now. That's nice. You got the Void Plums, all right, where Yonda, yeah, she's gonna have some Void Plums offerings basically, and probably gonna be platinum purchased. But she'll have the pinions, the vein, down, and the quails available to you in her offerings for those. So you can purchase those without having to farm most of the time. I say I wouldn't do that. I would say farm, most definitely. But yeah, new Landy Craft, and we'll move on. Tennocon's 2022, wow. Tennocon's 2022 digital pack is arriving as June 9th as well. In here, we'll be having the Tennocon digital pack features, which will have a operator and drifter suit bundle. You have your Tennocon 2022 armor bundle, Sagatra, display, emote, glyph, sigil, and the 475 platinum add-on. You also have the Barrels Tennocon relay, which will be arriving July 16th, ends on July 23rd. Arrives 11 a.m. ET, then ends on 23rd, 11 a.m. ET. So you'll have a pretty good while of your Barrel key tier. Barrel will be bringing everything in this when he arrives July 16th. And everything, just everything he has that he's brought out in the past. More is to come actually with his offerings, but whatever comes in these, well, actually no, because the update is out today, so no, does not matter. But hopefully they'll add new stuff in there. But if there was new stuff that'll come out in a couple of weeks, then the next Tennocon 2020 whatever 3 technically will have that in there. Probably not even in here. So any new stuff that will come out from Barrel will not be added in the Tennocon relay, because technically it's just everything that he has available all in one, and not everything that he's having new bring out. So yeah, that kind of sucks. I think that's most definitely how he's working, or works out, or that's how Digisheen plays it out. But it is what it is. And like I always tell you guys, farm for these pinions, because pinions are gonna have a bigger effect on everything. Every single time you use your standing with the pinions, it'll give you 5,000. The biggest, purchase for your, it goes up to 30,000. So you'll be using 6 every time for the pinions. That's basically all I'm just saying. And it'll be great to hit that 30,000 so you can, have that weekly rotation of standing. So just keep that in mind. Pinions are the best way to farm. I'll definitely be doing some. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Updates coming out pretty soon. Maybe earlier, 11 and 12 or 2 p.m. ET. But that is all. Thank you guys for watching. Love you guys, and I'll see you a little later.